Hello once again everybody, welcome back. This is Star Trek Resurgence. Now, this game has not been on my radar at all. I've not seen any hype for it whatsoever. I just heard that it came out and knew that I needed to play it. So it's not technically a randomizer episode, even though it is. Because I certainly didn't pick this at random. I really wanted to play this. So yeah, let's get started. So Dramatic Labs, I believe, have some of the same developers from Telltale, which is why this game is going to feel very familiar if anybody's played Walking Dead or one of their other games. So we're starting in an asteroid field. One thing I'm noticing is the graphics are
log, stardate
good, but kind of cartoony. They're not realistic, they're cartoony. Which is fine.
Spending too many months piecing our ship back together. We're finally about to venture out on a new mission.
Much like The Walking Dead, that was kind of, you know, cartoony art style as well.
This unprecedented ion storm slow them down. They're ready for something different. I know I am. Perhaps more than any of them. Fortunately, nothing ever stays the same. It's entropy, the nature of the universe.
It's not necessarily entropy.
And while entropy says order gives way to chaos, in this case, change is good.
Entropy is everything just descending to a base energy state. Everything becomes homogeneous.
Our new first officer is
That's
en
entropy.
route to the Resolute.
Anyway.
Jara Ryder.
So this is us.
I know she'll bring
First
a
officer.
dose of new blood to the crew.
And we're being hit by the ion storm, aren't we? But that's great. Are we going to start off like Mass Effect Andromeda? Are we going to crash and then have to fight for survival on a planet? Ooh, got it. I wasn't even ready for a quick time event.
Thanks.
No problem.
I'm not great with flying.
No, you don't look it, do you?
But these little shuttles
Oh,
are
hang
the
on.
worst.
Here's a tip.
Oh, I hate
Don't
having to
close
make
your eyes.
decisions
You'd think
like
that would
that
make it easier,
on
but
the
it
clock.
only makes it worse. Look out the window, pick a star, and just focus on that.
I'll give it a try.
I'm used to the Mass Effect series where you have time to make a decision on what you want to say.
Sorry, I'm a little anxious.
I hadn't noticed.
So a timer with a conversation
I'm on my way
is
to
a
my
bit...
first assignment. When we get to the starbase,
bit odd.
I'm transferring on to the Resolute.
So am I.
It won't be easy for Jara to step in at the 11th
So that's
hour
the
like this.
space
She's
station.
half the officer I knew she could become when she was a cadet at Starfleet Academy. She'll be the XO this ship needs right now.
So yeah, presumably this is the captain. I'm pretty sure I heard him say captain's log earlier. And at least he knows our character. So that should make introductions and everything much easier. Change of station. So yeah, the graphics aren't really cartoony. I was expecting them to be kind of cartoony there. Now, I've checked, there are absolutely no graphics options at all. So, this lighting, this kind of smooth skin that's a little bit too smooth is... there we go.
Starbase on the very edge of Federation space.
Yeah, I can't do anything about
away
that.
from home now.
I mean, that's a hell of a view. Oh, wow. Why can we hear that? We're in space. We shouldn't be able to hear that. Why do I keep going so close behind her shoulders?
Commander? I'm not usually such a nervous wreck, by the way. I actually did well at the academy.
Oh, yeah?
Maybe you've heard of the Torvalin test?
Sounds familiar.
It's a tactical simulator that makes the Kobayashi Maru look like a picnic on Pintaris 5.
Oh, does it
Anyway,
now?
I finished in the top 20. Not just in my class. I mean, all time. In the history of the academy.
I'll try and be.
So,
I'll try and be
that.
good with this.
Really? That's
I'll
quite
try and be a
impressive.
good character. I'm not
Thank
going to
you.
belittle anyone's
It was tough.
personal achievements.
But you know, I set my mind to it and it paid off.
Yeah, I'm not going to belittle anyone's personal achievements. I'm not going to go out of my way to show off. I don't
Hold it
think.
there for a few seconds.
Right, here we go. Yes, I assumed it was the holding left mouse button.
Welcome, Commander Ryder.
Cellular structure stable.
You're Jara Rydek? You absolutely crushed the Torvalin test.
So yeah, I'm
You
familiar
finished
with that
in,
test.
what,
It would
like
seem
the top 3?
top
That would be
3.
me.
Now I'm really...
Probably
it's
quite
an honor
embarrassed.
to meet you,
I would
Commander.
say.
Sorry, I didn't realize before. I just came off the shuttle and was glad to be on solid ground.
We're not on
pleasure's
solid
mine,
ground. We're on a space
Ensign.
station.
Paul Calloway.
Good to meet you.
I believe Commander Ermot is expecting you. He's in the concourse just ahead.
See you
I
on the
can't quite
Resolute.
place his voice. It sounds familiar, but I can't remember where I've heard it before. Oh look, we've got a map. That's nice. Check-in station, elevator. See over here. Repair status. Oh, you just want to look at everything in this game. Hello, whoever you were. I didn't even remotely see your insignia. I mean, that's the problem with the pips. They're fine if you're standing in front of somebody talking to them, but let's say I was trying to find a captain in that room over there, right? I wouldn't be able to see from here. My eyesight's not that good. And what if somebody's facing away from me? Like back in that shuttle, that Paul there, he couldn't see my insignia. So we had no idea he was talking to a
I
commander.
remember my briefing. Commander Ermot is a Bolian, so I'm looking for someone with blue skin.
I know what a Bolian looks like. He's over there on a data pad. We've got to have a little look round first, because they are very deliberately blocking the way. So we'll have a look over here. That's obviously the lift they were mentioning earlier. There's something to interact with over here. See, I don't really want to interact with
Starbase
people.
128 has 4 docks.
Okay. Don't really want to interact with people, but that there. Examine the
I'll
replicated
replicate
meal.
myself a meal once I'm on board.
Really? Is that wise? I mean, would they put you to work straight away and you won't have time for a meal when you get there? I don't know.
Excuse me.
Yeah, just walk between all those people. Here we go.
Welcome to the edge of the galaxy, Commander Rydek. I'm Commander Jan Ermot, Operations Officer on the Resolute. Commander? I hope there
He's
wasn't
shorter
too
than
much
she
trouble
is.
getting here. This storm
Ooh,
isn't making anything easy for us right now.
Bit bumpy.
It was a bit bumpy, but otherwise okay.
My apologies. This storm is unlike anything
Hey, no
I've
need to
seen.
apologise, dude. It's not as if you were piloting.
We're
I should
grateful
say
you were
commander,
able to
not
come
dude.
fill our first officer vacancy at such short notice. From everything I've read and everything I've heard, we're lucky
Oh, that's
you
right.
were
Yeah, what happened to the
us.
first officer?
Coming from a premier starship and all. To our little research vessel.
What exactly have you heard about me?
First in your class at the Academy. Received the Starfleet Award of Valor during the Dominion War. Most recently, Tactical Officer and Chief of Security on the USS Endeavor.
You've done your homework.
Like I said, we're very lucky.
Oh, is that it up there then? Yeah, that would be the reveal shot. It seems quite simple in design, really, doesn't it?
She may not look like much compared to the bigger ships, but as far as science vessels go, she can more than hold her own. And she doesn't look so bad considering 6 months ago she was nearly cracked in half, venting plasma, fighting for her life.
Really?
It was an accident?
That's interesting.
The equipment malfunction. An accident suggests fault, but no one's to blame. It was a planned test, but the warp core was pushed beyond its limits. It destabilized the dilithium. There was
Wait a minute, that sounds a lot like Chernobyl.
We thought we could reach a higher resonant frequency, but it was more than she could handle.
A planned test, things go wrong, things go
Officer and
kaboom.
22
Yeah,
of our crew.
pretty much.
At the end of the day,
So that's
we're all
what happened.
responsible for each other.
That's why
That's
I'm
what
here.
it means to be a crew.
I can't even begin to imagine what that must have been like for you. I'm so sorry for your loss.
Thank you. It does weigh heavy. There are some things you can't forget.
Did you lose anyone close to you?
Too many. And to that I'll just say, you have big shoes to fill. Listen,
Oh dear.
I realize you've known Captain Solano for quite some time.
Oh, so we do know the
and
captain.
I'm sure you're ready to bring your best.
Awesome.
But I should warn you that when the captain announced you would be the new first officer, there were those who felt it was a mistake, that he should have promoted from within. So you might want to tread lightly at first. Until they come to value your contributions as much as he does.
Thank you. Always good to have a sense for what you're walking into.
Yeah,
I just
because
thought you ought to know.
if you promote from within,
I appreciate it.
it's always good for team morale, right?
Starfleet has assigned us a high priority mission
Oh,
to
hang
the
on.
Hotar.
It's always good to promote from within because that sort of promotes team cohesion and morale and all the rest of it. Bringing in some unknown person from outside, yeah, I can definitely see why people would be a bit resentful about that, especially when the captain already has a pre-existing relationship. I mean, relationship's probably the wrong word. Sort of, they already know this person, so it could be seen as a bit of nepotism. I don't know. Anyway, yes, it did prompt. Press enter to examine your crew. Good first impression. Coming off inquisitive and appreciative while showing empathy. Awesome. Grateful for helpful guidance. Someone who's nervous. Right. Oh, that seems pretty good. We've got Carter up here. Interesting. Is there another character then?
Region. I'll let the captain brief you on board.
We shall
I know
see.
he's eager to see you.
Will we be mission ready in time?
We have every intention. The crew has been working around the clock to get the ship ready. There's still so much to do.
Oh, I see. Oh, hold on. W. Oh, is this the other guy? Yeah, it doesn't look like you're going to be able to remove that.
Stuck.
Not with all that corrosion.
Got just the thing.
Plasma torch. No, ODN recoupler. Plasma torch. Am I going to have to remember that that's the plasma torch? Oh, here we go. So we are playing as somebody else. Oh, I've got to guide that in the middle like that. Okay. It's funny the little mini games these games come up with. Because there's no need for that. He could have just like click on it, you know? Just point at it and click on it. That. What's that? How the hell? Oh, you've just got to move the mouse. You don't have to rotate it or anything. Pull back on S. That looks absolutely filthy. At least that one's clean. W to push it back in then. D. And click the mouse button. There we are.
Is that?
Well, at least there's no time limit on that. Did you have to do that to get the thing open? Oh, lower decks. Nice. I do like the concept of lower decks.
I thought that thing was totally fried.
I take it this is your best friend?
Nice work, Carter.
Nothing to it, Neely.
And not a moment too soon. The boss wants us down in engineering.
Look at that guy on the shuttlecraft.
Now.
Really should have been probably not standing on the shuttlecraft. You shift while moving to run. Shall we run? We're running. What's going on over here? Why are they there? Move the probe. Why am I moving a probe? What happened to his head?
Come on.
That was actually quite tricky. Why are we doing this?
Oh, these are heavier than
Why is that even an option?
Makes more sense than 0G.
Look at him. At least he's saying thank
Carter
you.
Diaz.
Alright, I'm coming. Are we going through here? There we are. No need to be angry with me, I'm on my way. That was really janky what happened to his head back there. Obviously not going that way. Yeah, we're just going to block a corridor with a few crates. It's fine, you can walk around. Turbo lift. Oh, we're going in automatically. Right, fine.
Engineering.
I heard the new XO just arrived. Won't be long before we get underway. I just hope whatever Chovak called us down for, it's something good. I can never tell with him. I'd rather not end up degaussing plasma manifolds. Hanging upside down
Be
makes me
positive.
queasy.
You and me working together, we can tackle anything he throws at us.
Your optimism is positively contagious.
I try. This would be engineering
Looks
then.
like we got here before.
Lieutenant Commander Chovak.
We were just looking for you, Commander.
Petty Officers Ed Solar, Diaz. I was beginning to think you would be late. We are all hands on deck right now, which means if you are not at your post at the appointed time, I do not have someone to replace you. A point I have been forced to make to Petty Officer Edzelar on repeated occasions.
Well, Commander Chovak, isn't it true that if we were almost late, it categorically means that we were not late?
That is correct, Mr. Diaz.
I mean, if anything, Edzelar and I are following the schedule to the letter.
Yes, perhaps I should adjust the schedule accordingly.
Maybe you should.
So, I don't suppose you
Oh,
wanted
he
us
didn't like
down
that,
here
though.
to check in before we go off duty?
Maybe I shouldn't be so much of a smart ass.
Equip yourselves in EV suits to work on the exterior of the hull. I need you to tune the structural
I'll
integrity
work on
field
that.
for optimal performance.
I'll work
the
on
subspace
that.
distortions and ionic interference we are experiencing are preventing the proper calibration. But this ship must be ready to depart shortly, despite the storm. The precise nature of these disturbances are not fully understood.
Whatever it throws at us, we'll be ready. We've got the best chief engineer in the fleet.
I
Sucking
am a
up a bit.
Vulcan, Mr. Diaz. Flattery is not necessary. All that I require is that you do your job.
Well then,
Right
let
now,
me do
that
my
entails
job.
critical preparations, because long-range sensors show that these disturbances will be more severe at our destination, the Hotari system.
Oh dear.
You have your orders.
I mean,
Do not
it's
delay.
bad enough here.
Yes,
Roger
Commander
that.
Chovak.
It's bad enough where we are
All
now.
hands on deck.
What's that?
All hands on deck. That's what Chovak said. You know what that means? It means this ship isn't ready to go out and the brass know it. So they're throwing every warm body at it. And they're going to leave on schedule. Consequences be damned.
It all comes down to us, Nelly. We're the ones who will get it ready.
I know.
Yeah,
what
well,
we can do,
we've got a job to do.
but
Let's
this
go
isn't
and do
just
it then.
Any old refit or any old relaunch.
Whoa. Excuse me.
A lot of new faces coming on board.
That was
It's gotta
quick.
be tough coming as a replacement.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
They seem all right. Something that happened 6 months ago while they were off on another ship? Well, that's nothing to hold against them.
No, but they've got to join the
you're
rest of
right.
us, haven't they?
I guess getting a little new blood on board doesn't hurt. Hold on. Now there's an old face I didn't expect to see again. Hey, Miranda!
You weren't gonna leave without me, were you?
Miranda, you're here?
We thought you were staying on the Adirondack.
Transfer came in at the last minute, so I figured I'd slum it on this bucket of bolts. Looks like you got her back together pretty nicely. I wasn't sure what to expect.
I'm gonna take the high road here, pretend you didn't say that, and welcome you aboard.
He's a better diplomat than I am.
He still owes me a
Maybe.
bottle of Saurian brandy. Don't think I forgot.
Oh yeah, it's coming back to me now.
Maybe Carter can rustle up that bottle and we can give you a proper welcome. As soon as we wrap up this quick little spacewalk.
Yeah, we got a job to do. Oh, here we go. Another pointless QuickTime event.
Here, let me help you.
Thanks.
So what's the word? Are you back in the security rotation?
Yep. Still running with the usual suspects.
Whoa.
Good to go. See you on the other side.
Activating magnetic
Here we
souls.
go. Oh, and it's another pointless thing. The graphics could definitely be better. Definitely. But they're not bad. They're not bad. Come on, let's go. W's, forwards. Oh, what's going on there? Of course, we're in 0G. Doesn't matter which way is up. Doesn't matter which way is up at all.
You never gets old.
Let's go.
Look at that. We're standing on this little narrow ledge right on the edge of the ship. Right, well, we better get this done quick then. I presume we're transferring back to the commander, given that we're hovering around the bridge.
Captain Solano should be here momentarily.
It's the wrong use of the word momentarily. Sorry, that's a pet peeve of mine.
You'll have to forgive me, I don't know much about Kobleods. But my understanding is you need a steady supply of duridium to keep your cell structure stabilized, or bad things start to happen.
Interesting.
And we
You're
have plenty of duridium in
dependent
sickbay, so there's no risk
on
of running
something.
out.
Thank you.
Feel free to make yourself at home.
I mean,
And
it's
help
no
yourself
different
to
than the
whatever
rest
you
of
like
us
from the
being
replicator.
dependent on food and water, but anyone has food and water. Relatively easy to come by. But anyway, yes, momentarily does not mean in a moment. It means for a moment. So if someone's going to be with you momentarily, it doesn't mean they'll be with you soon. It means they'll be with you, they'll say hi, and then they'll bugger off again. Sorry. That's just a real bugbear of mine. So we're in, presumably, the captain's office. I'm just waiting for him to turn up, so this is presumably an opportunity to explore. Oh, look at the little model train.
He's still got a thing for trains. The warp engines of their day, apparently.
Jara Rydek. Last time I saw you, it was graduation from the
And of
academy.
course he's got a
You'd already
fantastic
secured one
moustache.
of the most prestigious assignments possible. And you were burning with enough ambition to fuel 7 trips around the Necrid Expanse.
It's good to see you again, Captain.
I could not be happier to have you on the Resolute. My only regret is that we couldn't provide you with a warmer welcome. The arrival of a first officer to a new ship deserves a bit of fanfare.
No, that's fine.
But, unfortunately, we've
It's
had our
fine,
hands
given the
full with
circumstances.
That would be
And the fact that we're
totally
under a
unnecessary. I don't
time
need any
crunch
pomp and
here.
circumstance.
You've been here all of 5 minutes, and already you're trying to make us more efficient. I like it. As I'm sure you've heard, we've had a rough go of it these last 6 months. The ship suffered some damage, but not nearly as much as the crew.
I don't know the details.
You'll have to forgive me. I don't really know the details.
Starfleet has been kind enough to keep the story contained, probably because they want to protect me. But I don't mind telling you. We were on the verge of a major scientific breakthrough. A quantum leap forward in warp core technology. 10,000 teradynes per second. The ability to travel at a sustained rate of speed longer and faster
Yeah,
than
I've got no idea what that number means.
What would have been the crowning achievement of my career. Right there. Within our grasp. Until it all went so horribly wrong. We pushed her too hard, and a warp core malfunction overloaded the system, creating a pressure gradient way beyond what the ship could handle. It was heartbreaking. We lost some of our best people. As captain, I have to take full responsibility. It was my
Absolutely.
decision to make,
That's the captain's job.
and I have to live with the consequences.
Oh, I don't know.
You have to look to the future. You can't dwell on the past, on things you can't change.
There's nothing that can be done about it now. In my defense, I will say, I might have avoided the whole ordeal if my senior staff had been willing to trust me. There was a lot of pushback from my former XO, and I think that cost me his confidence. I don't want you to pull any punches. Certainly not on my account. But once we decide on a course of action, I need everyone to fully commit to the mission.
Funny enough, I was just watching a
Anything short of that
episode
just
of
won't work. And that's when things start to go
remind me.
sideways.
Yeah, I was just watching
Whether I agree or disagree,
episode of
I can promise that I'll
TNG.
be honest to a fault.
where
Good.
that's
exactly
a big
what I'm
part
looking
of the
for.
episode.
But at the end of the day, it has to be my call.
It's like, yeah,
Look,
I value
I'll be blunt.
your contribution and your input,
We can't afford another
but
mistake.
it's my call.
Or at
We
least
can't be
I-
arguing on the bridge.
I feel like my career is hanging in the balance here. We need a win. Something to restore the crew's confidence.
I understand.
On a more positive note, Starfleet has tasked us with what they're calling a mission of the highest priority.
There's Rotari
Escorting
Prime.
a senior diplomat to Hotari space.
Oh, escorting a
Two
diplomat.
previously
Lovely.
peaceful and otherwise non-aggressive civilizations now find themselves on the brink of all-out war.
So it's a peace.
Oh, as always.
I see it as a golden opportunity to not only prove what the Resolute and her crew are truly capable of, but also a mission for which we're uniquely qualified. This ionic storm. Our long-range sensors suggest it's several orders of magnitude stronger than anything on record. A total anomaly like nothing we've seen before. And you'll never guess where it leads.
I mean, that
Hatari.
is worth investigating.
Exactly. Very nearly in the precise location where we're
So
headed.
that's a big
Where I imagine
coincidence.
the interference will be
Um,
exponentially greater. But the diplomat will brief us on the details
Diplomat.
of the rendezvous.
Who is the senior diplomat we're escorting?
That I don't know. Starfleet hasn't said. But I don't want to get ahead of myself. I expect we'll have some rough sledding when we arrive, so I need you to prepare the crew for the worst. There's just one more thing I want to clarify up front.
Fine.
The metric that for me will be the ultimate measure of your success.
What is it?
If after serving as my first officer, you don't one day find yourself with a ship of your own, then I will consider it my personal failure.
So you're trying to avoid Commander Riker
Might happen, it's
syndrome.
entirely up to you. But it goes without saying. You have my full support.
It's been a dream of mine since before I can remember. So I would be honored to become a captain someday.
As long as you're willing to do the work, you have my promise. I'll do everything in my power to see that it happens.
Thank you.
Come. let me introduce you to the crew.
I'll just do that, and then that's probably enough for today. Look at this place. Be the bridge. Okay. There's a little bit of original series radar bleeps there.
Everyone, if I could have your attention for a moment. I'd like to introduce Commander Jara Rydek, our new first officer. Some quick introductions. This is Lieutenant Handar, our helmsman, one of the best
Oh,
in
he
the
looks like
business.
trouble.
One of.
Well, what he lacks in humility, he more than makes up for in ability.
A pleasure to meet you, Commander.
That's not what he said in the subtitles.
Next, we have Commander Westbrook, our Chief Science Officer. I've come to rely on his expert counsel on a regular basis.
He looks a bit grumpy, doesn't he?
Commander Rydek, it is such an honor to meet you.
This is our tactical officer, Lieutenant Bedrosian, who's been looking forward to meeting you for about as long as I can remember.
I've been following your career for quite some time.
Bit of a fangirl then, you'd
And I
say.
look forward to learning as much as I can from you.
If anything, the honor is mine.
Well, I have to admit, one of the reasons I've followed your career is because you're part Kobliad. Because of what you've overcome. Starfleet stands up for people who can't defend themselves. And you were one of those people once. But since then, you've done so much to protect others who need it. I really admire that. So, you've been something of an inspiration to me. Not that I've done anything close to what you've done, but you definitely set a standard to strive for.
There we go. Flattering.
I don't know what to say. That's incredibly flattering, thank you.
I hope someday I can follow in your footsteps.
I'm sure you will.
And then, of course, you've already met Commander Ermont.
Indeed.
Please, do everything you can to make Commander Rydek feel at home here. I'll be on the starbase. Have an urgent meeting with the starbase commander to get our authorization to get underway. If they drag their feet any longer, we won't make our rendezvous. The bridge is yours.
Wow. So, literally, first day. Literally the first day. And with that, I think it's time to end it. So it's been interesting. It's been interesting. It certainly feels Star Trek. I've seen other games where it's just not. But there we are. A few too many quick time events. A lot of all pointless, like just press a button to do something. So just do it. It's not something that takes a lot of skill. I'm not making a choice. So, just do it. It doesn't require timing. It doesn't require aiming. It doesn't require a choice. So just do it automatically. It's fine. Anyway, if you've enjoyed that, remember to subscribe. And thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next time. Goodbye.